There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a Billy of Tea. The winds blew up her bow, up down, oh below my bully boys blow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Isn't that an amazing song, Padawan? Now, you are going to listen to the entire song by Nathan Evans as part of this assignment. And so I'm just using this teeny tiny little clip here to introduce the topic of the difference between a sea shanty and a ballad. And I know you are sitting at home riveted. Why, BRG? Why are they different? Why does it matter? Well, in the grand scheme of things, probably doesn't matter. But I wouldn't be earning my paycheck if I didn't point it out, seeing as this is a literature course, and you are required to know things about poetry, literature, essays, etc., etc. So, a sea shanty was a song sung by sailors who worked on different kinds of ships. Whaling ships, fishing ships, crabbing ships, whatever. Oyster ships, lots of kinds of ships. And I don't know a whole lot about nautical culture, but from what I know, back in the 16, 17, 1800s, when ships were, the thing, they would sing songs to kind of help them get through the really hard work, the really grueling work of being on a ship. So a sea shanty, which, by the way, they didn't call it a sea shanty. They just called it a song. We call them sea shanties because we have to name everything, right? Literature people are funny that way. So a sea shanty is a call and response tune. So there was a guy, a fella, who would stand at the top of the ship, and he would call out, like the lines of the song, and then the refrain would be the part that the sailors would sing, and it kind of gave him like a boost or like an extra push, so they could pull these ropes. So a sea shanty, a true one, would have a call and response, and a ballad is a story. It's a song that tells a story, and can have a refrain in it. And usually does. And so technically Wellerman, the tune, is actually a ballad. But you could argue that the there's a part where the artists say like da 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 da, they do a right? You could say that is the part where where the ropes are pulled. So, do we know? No. What's great about this story, though, is that this song was in absolute obscurity, and this teacher from the country where this song is from, and I'm not telling you that because that's part of your assignment, is to find out where, right? This teacher was just doing research on old ballads, putting together a collection of them, and he came across this tune, and then, people went wild with it, different artists performing it, and then over the pandemic, Nathan Evans created, I think on TikTok originally, but it might have been YouTube first, I'm not really sure. I'm an old lady, but it went viral, and then all these people who were like locked up at home, like they contributed them singing along, and they've made these like super sites of like hundreds of people singing the song together, and other sea shanties like Leave Her Johnny, Leave Her, which by the way can be played on bagpipes, and of course I like Nathan Evans because he's Scottish, and I'm Scottish, American, so I like him, but a lot of people came together, and I was very touched by that spirit of all these people coming together to sing. I mean, some of them dressed up in these like fantastic outfits. When you're doing your research, you're going to come across some because you have to pick one that you like in addition to the one that I have you watch, which is the original by Nathan Evans. So, why is it important that we know the difference? Well, technically it's not important. Like, the world isn't going to change if you get them confused. But they are different kinds of songs. Both were sung on a ship, right? Sea songs are sea songs. So whether it's a ballad or whether it's a sea shanty, both were sung because, sea life was very boring. It wasn't like they had, internet and TikTok to look at while they were on these boats. So they did a lot of singing. So, they didn't distinguish between them. We just distinguish between them now. But I like to see young people doing creative stuff, and I was really impressed by this movement, and I think that you will enjoy it too. And more importantly, it gives us some insight into what Herman Melville would have experienced, because he was, for a brief time, a Wellerman. And so when you discover what a Wellerman is and where that was, where the Wellermans took place, it will give you a sense of the kind of the lifestyle that he experienced, and that informed the writing of Moby Dick. And that is what we read in American Romantics. So, thank you for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one. Be well, make good choices.